The Coaches Show is brought to you by Highway 55 Burgers, Shakes, and Fries. The Professional Fence Company. Our name says it all. No job too big or too small. Nunboys.com. And GPS Photography and Video, GPSPhotoandVideo.com. Welcome back. Welcome to the Coaches Show. We're at Highway 55. Today's special, I think, is 2 hot dogs and a drink for $5.99. So you want to get here and get you that. Time for the Ask the Coach segment. And Coach, we sort of segued into it in the last segment, but bottom line, what is the identity of our team? 5 weeks into the season, 0-5. Is this as good as it's going to get?
No, it can't be. It can't be as good as it's going to get. And I think sometimes in our players' minds, they're struggling with attempting to identify what their true identity really is. We've got to be more physical on defense. We've got to finish plays. We've got to tackle with authority. We've got to do so violently.
Right.
And you allude to a play last week, and just there wasn't a lot of violence. And a big thing for that, I think, for our players in their mind anyway, is when things do kind of tend to end up getting stacked against them, the confidence level wanes in such a way that the desire to finish and the desire to be violent, to be aggressive, it's not evaporated, but it's become diluted a little bit because maybe they feel like at that point it's just not going to matter.
Right.
And we counsel them heavily on that. We push them. We punish them for not being violent in practice. And you would think that at some point it's going to resonate deeply enough to the core where it's going to carry over on Friday nights. It's certainly got to. Offensively, identity-wise, our identity right now is Jacob Rushing, and that's a problem.
Yes,
because,
it is. You're one-dimensional.
You're exactly right. And it's like we talked in the earlier segment, the things that we're trying to do to relieve him a little bit, and in so doing, open up his ability to be even more phenomenal than he already is. I tell our kids all the time, especially when we get him out there on the perimeter, if we're not blocking well or whatever, I tell them, I say, y'all are making Jacob work too hard.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is,
do the guys respond to that when you
the linemen do? They really do. Our offensive line is really a great group of guys, and I know Jacob has an immense respect for them. And I tell them all the time, hey guys, he's gonna get his scholarship. You better get busy working on yours.
All the way around the classroom, on the field. I mean, it is what it is. Go ahead, Al.
No, I was just going to say, we talked a lot about the offense. Defensively, who has been a couple of your guys who've really stepped to the forefront this year? Obviously, Donovan Wirt,
no doubt,
and Quinn Maynard, but is there somebody that jumped out and said, I'm going to take leadership of this group?
We have some quiet leaders. Dylan Derisme is beginning to emerge as a solid interior defensive lineman. We've seen glimpses out of Harley Ellis the last couple of weeks.
I have.
And we've got to get better at linebacker. We need Lerai Fuentes to step up and begin to play at the level that we need him to play at. We've had to move Joe Chavis back over to linebacker some.
He made some plays the other night.
He did, but that's been facilitated due to the loss of Trey and just the personnel issues that we've got. And Joe did a good job, and he's had a good week of practice.
Michael Chifo.
Michael Chifo.
Couple interceptions, knocked the pass down this last week.
Right, but it's just like that play you talked about the other night. Michael was one of those guys that was right there.
On the porch, exactly.
He's right there.
And you got to finish. You
can't pick and choose when you want to. You got to finish every play, and you got to finish it violently.
Patton used to walk across the battlefield. He got the thing for slapping a soldier. And my point to that, when you look into their face, like at halftime, do you see that they're battle fatigued?
No, I haven't seen that at halftime
That
yet.
1,000-mile stare. that,
Maybe about 10 minutes into
Yeah.
the fourth quarter, a little bit.
And I guess the problem with that is when we get back into the second half, I don't have the luxury of looking deep into their eyes
Right.
and studying, trying to figure out where their mind is, because we're
Right.
constantly trying to pick
Make
them
the
up,
next move,
keep
make
them
the best
focused. Let's go. We got to pick it up, and of course, and the operative. The operative saying I throw them, on them a lot is, guys, when you dig a hole and you dig a hole, at some point you got to figure out when to
Yeah, I
stop
heard that.
digging.
And I heard, and some of them were buying into it. They were
Yeah.
coming out.
Well, the
We're
flip
gonna
side
do
of that, battle fatigue is battle hardened.
It
And
is.
we had a glimpse into the future last Thursday. And let's just talk about the first half of the JV game. The cupboard's not bad. Who's number 45, the running back? We're up 24 to 6 at half. And of course, we lost the game, but to look into the future, what's coming is got to be pretty excited about it.
Well, that was Jaleel Prather. He's a freshman.
Wow.
We have a lot of expectations, of him, not right now and in the future. And then we got Malik Carroll back there as well, and several other kids. We're uniquely deep at running back on the JV team. The bad thing about it is the majority of them are freshmen.
Right.
Malik is a lot like a freshman in that he did not play last year as a freshman, and we successfully recruited him back into the program this year as a sophomore. And he's done a great job. He had some difficulty early on hanging onto the ball, and we had some turnover issues with him. But Coach Terry's worked real hard with him to address that. But there he is. There's a lot of promise on the JV team, and
Yeah.
defensively, when you got kids like Alex Plummer and then we got Jalen Oaks, who plays some on both sides of the ball, and Keon Roper. I mean, there's a lot of solid kids out there, who give us the opportunity to have a very bright future.
Special teams last week. Who was somebody that stood out to you a little bit?
Devin
You
Carroll.
mentioned
Devin Carroll was our special teams player of the week. Devin
Okay.
did a great job on kickoff coverage and did a great job blocking on returns. He's a receiver, works some at H, works at linebacker, but did a really good job on special
Sophomore?
teams. He's a junior.
On defense, are we not going to have one on defense, Coach?
Donovan Wirt.
Donovan Wirt
was our defensive player of the week. He was.
And again, for the 5th week in a row,
Brandon Smith was the offensive player last week.
last week.
And but it's back to rushing this week.
Jacob Russell, 781 yards on the year. I think I'm tracking so far. 174 last week.
It's over 7.
The thing about it, we don't want to become one-dimensional, but we're excited for the season that he's having. They're chiming in on the Hope County alumni football site. Said, man, you got to go see number 22. It's something to see.
Well, and when you are to whatever extent one-dimensional as we are, although we try not to be, the fact that he can still put up those kinds of numbers speaks volumes for what kind of player he really is.
How was the week of practice, Coach?
Not bad. A little bit cooler.
Yeah, it is definitely
nice.
starting to cool off now.
Has been nice, and concentration's been good, practice flow's been good. Other than just Monday was difficult, trying to get a feel for the simulation of their offense. If you don't run that offense, it's a difficult deal to simulate in practice. So everything has to be drawn up perfectly, and it takes you a day to even halfway get the timing of some of the stuff that they do down. But once we did, it progressed, it flowed. I'm excited to see how what we're trying to do to diversify our run game is going to work. It looked really good in practice today. Again, it's not at all unlike the passing game. It hinges on KJ's ability to make very specific reads and give the ball or keep it.
Everybody healthy?
Yep.
All right, good. We'll load them up then.
Well,
That's the
Coach, I mean,
miraculous thing, when you look at the fact that we're 0-5 and you look at the deficits that we've had to endure, the fact that we have remained healthy is full testimony to what kind of strength program we got. And so with that, due to that, we're staving off injury, fairly well. We've had a couple of dinks here and there, but
Overall,
other than Martez Riggins and another
can't really help a
and another guy with a
anomaly.
broken arm, it's
Trey.
what do you do? No strength program.
Those are not strength program problems.
It's just freak accidents.
Well, the thing about it, Coach, as always, thanks for answering the hard questions. Know we're tough. You come in here all 5 weeks,
Every week,
man, and
doing a good job.
appreciate you.
Both of y'all.
Need to get you that masseuse.
Biggest thing we do is coaches coach them up, parents love them up, and let's go Bucks. We're gonna leave it there. Tomorrow night, 6:30 is kickoff up in Rocky Mount. Friday, no
Enjoy.
game.
Go
So I
scout
imagine the
somebody.
rain is gonna affect the whole region. So stay tuned to your 910 preps and Fayetteville Observer to see what's going on. And of course, Monday the JV is gonna kick off here at Raz Archery Stadium. I'm Glenn Young for Hal Nunn, Coach Tom Paris. That's gonna do it for this week. We'll see you next week right here on the Coaches Show at Highway 55.